Very sad times here in LongLiveBoxing EnVivo podcast, and not only for us, but for the entire boxing community. Unfortunately, Jeanette Zacharias Zapata, she couldn't win the biggest, fight in her life, and unfortunately, she couldn't make it. She passed away after those devastating punches against the Canadian Marie Pierre Hoyle in Canada, and that's happened just this past Saturday. I mean, this is devastating. Hop.
This is sad.
We just finished up having a great, podcast. And
it's heartbreaking.
It's just
I'm talking to Chadi Chavalier, and the news broke.
Yep.
And this is why you say you don't play boxing.
Not at all.
And it's just sad news all the way around, and especially the more you dig into it with the Mexican doctors and everything. It's just sad. You don't play boxing. Rest in peace, Jeanette Zacharias Zapata, una guerrera, 18
Big
years
time.
old. Gone way too soon, Gringo.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. I mean, the whole situation, how it went down, hearing like anybody else that's fighting or doing what they need to do to, provide for their family. She thought she was doing what's right. She thought she was doing what she loved. She got some advice that clearly wasn't in her best interest, and she took a fight she shouldn't have. And too often we forget, we go back and forth about fights we wish could happen and, woulda, coulda, shoulda. But, these fighters are truly putting their lives on the line, and so much more is at stake. And, this could happen at any point in time. So my heart goes out to her family, and, anyone that she came in contact with. And, I pray that, their pain passes soon.
May you rest in peace.
Rest in
Jeanette
peace.
Zacharias Zapata. That's right. Sad feelings.
Are you ready?
Mis condolencias para toda su
Obviously,
familia.
you're a little,
Descanse en paz.
aggravated by the line of
Zacharias
questioning regarding
Zapata.
Canelo.
I don't want to touch this, dirty, so bad. I don't want to touch his name.
I'm working on feeling the art of humbleness. Can you be with me? That's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person no more. And I miss him. But sometimes I feel like a bitch. I don't want that person to come out, because when he comes out, hell is coming with him. And it's not funny at all. It must sound cool, like I'm a tough guy. It's just I hate that I'm scared.
It would be awesome to, be being a great warrior. Maybe with a Mexican. I have to put the joke.
No, hey.
Thank you for playing, man. I appreciate
Good
you.
timing.
Can't put predictions, man, but I definitely don't want to leave it to the judges.
Yo, wepa! We are live and vivo. We're LongLiveBoxing EnVivo podcast. Como siempre, Manny Marrero.
Sean El Gringo Hicksa.
Hopper.
Always breaking it down like it is. Like it should be. Ladies and gentlemen, this is podcast number 96. We are en route to that 100. Welcome back, El Gringo. We missed you on 95. It was actually our first podcast. We didn't hear that Gringo introduction, but actually now it is so good to hear your voice, amigo.
Oh, it is, brother.
Well, thank you, man. Checks in the mail. I appreciate it. I was busy booking our guest for our 100th show. It's a big time guest, but no, it's not. It's not Damian Lillard. It's Santa Claus.
Already.
Damn, I gotta get my list going on here right now. I've been a good boy.
Damian Lillard, you know you're not listening.
He's listening.
He is. Damn, we got a lot of boxing to talk about. 95 was fantastic. 96 is going to be even better. What's going on, man? We talked about it a little bit in the other episode, but man, we got a lot of stuff going on. First of all, thank you guys for keep liking, sharing our good stuff. Remember, you can upload our podcast up, anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. We are there. Just got to do LongLiveBoxing EnVivo podcast. And if you're all of a sudden in the social media, just smash that like button. It helps us continue to create that content for you guys to enjoy. Been talking about some of the things that are happening here in Texas. Wow. We got a big belt championship going on, Hopper.
Oh, yeah.
No pun intended.
And LongLiveBoxing is part of that. That is freaking amazing, man. I appreciate Sweat Boxing Gym in Irvin. Listen, if you need to get your training up to the next level, call these guys. They help you. They will, right? You want to make a pro? Hey, they can guide you where you need to go. So just give them a call, and they'll be able to get you where you need to be. So I appreciate their support. But, man, them and the Showcase Boxing Showcase.
Man, it's amazing.
Some things are happening October 1st. We got some great things going on. But, man, I want to talk about that this big belt championship going on. And if you guys haven't heard anything about it, just want to kind of keep you guys in the loop of what's going on. This is a big deal, Hopper. We were there today. I had a press conference talking about, the ins and outs about this tournament. And actually, you guys, if you're a pro, this is not about playing boxing. Remember, we can't play boxing. Look what happened, unfortunately. But if you are training and you're ready to go, there's a need still. Well, there's opening still, right? You just can't come up and say, I want to do it right now, and you haven't been training for years. No, there's qualifications. Hopper, you were there today. What happened?
Yes, it was a great meeting. Mr. Mauricio Sulaiman, the president of the WBC, he was there answering questions. I actually had the privilege of asking him a question. I kind of have joking, which is pretty cool. Check it out on the Boxing Showcase Facebook. But yes, the Big Belt Championship, it's happening. It's here.
Yep.
It's 9 divisions for men, 4 for the women. They've already have the dates set. The first one's going to be the 17th of September in Austin. Then the 1st of October in Mesquite. The 29th of October in Houston. The 5th of November in Laredo. The 12th in Fort Worth. And the final in McAllen. Now, it's a single elimination tournament, and your record has to be you can't have a losing record to join.
Right.
No more than 5 fights. And if you're making your pro debut, you have to have at least 40 amateur fights. And those are the parameters that were set by.
So you can't just say I'm going to join right now.
No,
I can't come back after
you have to have a positive
30
record.
years or plus. I haven't get some gloves in, and I'm like, when am I going to fight 200 pounds?
I'm sure they make an exception for you, Manny. They make an exception for you.
I would pay.
That'd be a big draw.
I'll be a heavyweight right now. No, what's that new division? Brigadier or Bridger?
Bridgerweight.
Bridger.
But no, yes. And actually, the Big Belt tournament, they could use more women boxers.
Yes.
There's 4 divisions for the women that they're trying to fill, and that's the 112, 118, 126, and 135 pounders. They're having a little bit of difficulty finding professional women fighters. So all my ladies out there, all my fighting ladies,
yeah,
get in contact. Holla at us. Holla at them. We'll get you at the Boxing Showcase. They could use you.
Yeah, and if you need that extra
big
boost,
tournament, the WBC.
If you need that extra boost in your career, if you're just out of contract and you just want to try to, and you think you got it, give us a call. We'll lead the way. But this is something big, guys. If you just check out our social medias, and you'll see the belt, you'll see how good people involved in this stuff, and so. This is an opportunity. So if you're looking for that, you're at the right spot.
No, definitely. And it's 9
Awesome,
divisions.
absolutely.
9 divisions for men, from 112 all the way to 175. Nothing in the 130-pound division, and the plus 200 pounds, the heavyweight division. So we
got the locals fighting, huh?
Yes, and then we got some good talent there. In the fight, the first one's going to be the September 17th. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Güero's fighting in that one. And that one, or the one October 1st, the Mesquite one.
The Mesquite
Yeah,
one.
he's in October 1st.
We'll be there.
He's in
We're going to be there.
With Jake.
Oh, yeah, with Jake Malik's fighting as well on the 17th. The cool thing about this is that all the fights are going to be broadcasted via pay-per-view on the WBC channel.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. And they're going to have big surprises.
Absolutely.
Ex-WBC champs. I mean, this is a big tournament, and it's international. You got boxers from USA, Mexico, and eventually the plan is to go global.
Yeah.
So I can see some of our Asian brothers and sisters or people in the
And
England,
this is
our mates in
This is the
England.
first tournament. Can you imagine? Like
This is
you're
the
like-
first one.
You're
and
like the start. You're like the very first champion. Just lifting up that belt, and you're like, wow, I made it through. So hey, this is an opportunity.
Gringo, any chance you might join the tournament?
I'll join as a spectator, and I'll be the taste tester of the concessions.
The food. There you
I'll
go.
throw my hat in the ring of that.
That's always important.
right.
We need
And
to-
Manny, you painted a really pretty picture of that holding the belt up. I can tell you imagine that. You
Oh
dreamed
my
about
God!
That last night.
I'm telling you, I wish, but I'm in no shape, man. But hey, listen, I want to salute my good buddy Michael Colon. Yo, he made it. He's on the tournament. He hasn't fought in 10 years. He's been training hard. Actually, he's been training there every now and then at Sweatbox Boxing Gym. Probably going to spar one of those guys out there eventually soon.
Spar you.
He's thinking about going to Puerto Rico for a couple of weeks and continue to train out there with Luis Trabal and the great people in Maya West and some of the other places in the island of Puerto Rico. But hey, Gringo, he'll be fighting the 29th of October, so it'd be pretty cool. If you can make that thing.
No, definitely. I can't wait to check it out.
H-Town.
I'll definitely be there, and that's another thing I wanted to say. A lot of speculation, and I was kind of hoping that the tournament would come together like it has, and it's great. I mean, the exposure these young fighters are going to get, young men and women, and this is a great time to kind of make their mark. And as you stated, Manny, being a part of the inaugural tournament is huge. It's only going to get bigger going forward because more people are going to want to be a part of it.
Oh, once they find out about it, I think that the qualifications for next year, it's going to be the stakes are going to be higher. So there's a chance. Take an opportunity. Hey, it's coming up from us. LongLiveBoxing, we're inviting you. Remember, you got to qualify. We're not going to hook you up to get there, but you got to have your qualifications.
Have the credentials.
You can't freaking play boxing, guys. You cannot do that.
Yeah, and
absolutely. So yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is that they're committed to having more of these tournaments. Like, they're committed to giving money back. Don Jose said that any profits made, it's going to be strictly directed towards funding more tournaments, just helping up-and-coming boxers who don't have another avenue or who don't have the financial backing to make a name for themselves in the sport. And this is what they're all about. I mean, you can tell they truly love the sport of boxing. And with the WBC, that's heavily involved. That's the major backing right there, man. It's the freaking WBC, the green belt, the most prestigious belt in
green
boxing.
Belt, my favorite.
Dude, my favorite.
Yes.
My favorite.
So,
my favorite.
And it's the belt that Canelo's going to win November 6th. I had to do it, guys. I had to drop a Canelo nugget in there. So that's the belt that he's after, November 6th.
Consistency is important. We
WBC.
appreciate you, sir.
At least I'm consistent with it.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, the big belt tournament. It's happening. It's here. It's right around the corner. Actually, in 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. 2 weeks. 17th of September. That's a day. 2 days before my wife's birthday. So you know what? It's in Austin. We might just go to the fight and then hit up 6th Street the next day, and that sounds like a plan.
And not only that, they do have something very interesting that I was looking at is the WBC Care, and then these are going to be part of the activities they'll have throughout the weekend, where they're going to select a few of the kids in the community, and then women, kids, that they can come in and have some kind of clinics, right, and prevent all this violence for women, and also as well bullying some of these teenagers. So these are some of the things that they're going to be beneficial for the community as well, guys. This is freaking big. The more I think about it, it's like the more I'm like, shit, I should have gotten freaking in shape. me and Hopper first round.
Circle is a shape, man.
Oh my God, no! Even if I was in shape, man, I wouldn't. That's not my avenue.
Spider, any interest in joining this tournament?
Hell no.
He answered a lot quicker than I thought he would.
That's cool.
Quicker than you did, Sean.
Oh yeah, he was ready. I thought about it, and then I was like, "What am I thinking about?"
Wow.
But
wow.
yeah,
well, I mean, we can all use a booster, right? I mean, is that the next
legal
topic?
one? A legal one or an illegal one?
Illegal? I mean, could I?
I'm actually drinking herbal tea right now.
You're drinking herbal tea. You better be careful. You might test positive.
I just had some street tacos. They might have
I'm
some
pissing hot.
kind of like additional incentives inside those tacos or whatever.
Well,
are we going there or
I think
not?
we're going there. We have to kind of
have
go
to.
there, man.
We have to. I mean,
What you guys are kind of alluding to, kind of being douches about
I'm joking,
it,
but it's
okay.
it's not fun.
We're talking about Oscar Valdez. My boy. He's a Mexicano and
Coming off a big win.
huge win against Alacran,
Massive.
and in a fight where a lot
Fight
of people,
coming up next week.
a fight where a lot of people, including us, I believe all of us had him losing that fight, right? If I'm not mistaken, against
we did.
Belcher.
I did it.
We all picked Alacran.
Yeah. We should.
If I remember correctly, yeah, I think we all did.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes out and tests positive for phentermine. His first sample tests positive for phentermine. The B sample also comes back and earlier today and tests positive for phentermine. So, I mean,
nice.
I had a whole speech prepared trying to defend them and everything and so on and so forth, but by definition, I mean, if a substance is banned and anyone found with it in their system,
It's banned.
I mean, technically,
it's prohibited.
it's cheating. I mean,
You
there's no other
signed
way
for
around it. He and only he is ultimately responsible for
Unless
his body.
unknowingly. Like street
Ah.
tacos?
So
That's
talk
a
about
whole
this.
different
So,
issue
I mean-
because Clen in Mexico is a legit. You know, that's
For the
it's-
meat.
It's a legit, the meat in Mexico. That's why a lot of some NFL players have tested positive for Clen over there. It's they tell you when you go over there, if you're an athlete, they tell you not to eat the meat. It's legit. So,
I mean, if they
but
tell you,
this
why would
this one, Oscar Valdez's one is different because it's not it's phentermine. It's
different.
it's a weight loss. It's a weight loss.
But it does enhance your ability to
Your
your
stamina,
stamina, and it's got a slight edge. So
Yeah.
talk to me
And
about
even-
that a little bit. Is that kind of
even
like
then-
the same thing that Billy Joe Sanders, or is that something different? What is the difference?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, I'm not like an expert in these.
About
in
your
things,
perspective.
but, Billy Joe Saunders, and I can only go from what Victor Conti said. What Victor Conti said when the whole issue with Canelo was happening, he said that Clen is basically like a weight loss deal. That was the appetizer to what Billy Joe Saunders tested positive for, which was oxylofrin.
Mm-hmm.
He said that's the meat and potatoes. That's what, if you want to improve yourself illegally, that's what you're taking. It's and you know, there's different kinds of cheatings. You know, I wanted to bring that up. You know, Oscar Valdez, yes, he got caught cheating. He pissed dirty. Ain't no way around it. It's not a good look for him or his team.
Not at all.
But I mean, damn, it's just murky because I definitely don't want to touch on it until the investigation is complete. But WADA, WBADA, they're okay with it. With phentermine, as long as it's not during the competition. But VADA doesn't have those. VADA, VADA, the testing agency, which he tested positive for, they don't have that during competition or not, rules set forth. So it's two completely different testing agencies with different parameters. Is it a PED? No, it's not. It's not a performance
it's a
enhancing
weight loss.
drug.
It's a weight loss. But
Is it illegal? I mean, but he had it in his system. He had a very light amount in his system, and I don't know. I just think there are different levels of cheating. If you're gonna cheat, you know, a weight loss. I don't necessarily think it's that egregious as guys that have tested positive for actual steroids, like Tyson Fury. He tested positive for nandrolone. That's steroid.
Yeah, that's steroid.
Luis Ortiz, he tested positive for mask performance enhancing drugs. Povetkin, Melodium, and Osterine. Lamont Peterson, before his fight rematch with Amir Khan, synthetic testosterone. Andre Berto, anabolic steroid, nandrolone, and I can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But my point is you know, there's levels of cheating, and in a sport rampant with suspicions, a weight loss supplement compared to steroids. I mean, I don't know. You still pop dirty, Oscar. It's all on you. But
So what happens to the September 10th fight against
I don't
Brazilian
know. Gringo?
Robson
What do you think
Conceição?
happens now?
Well, I mean, last I looked, I mean, it's still going to happen. You know, it looked like it was still going forward. I mean, it's too hard unless they're going to just straight call the card now. But last I checked, they're still moving forward on it. But I mean, again, that might have been like to Hopper's point. They're waiting for the investigation to continue further. I'm not really sure how they move on that. I mean, I know it's happened before.
I think
where Antonio Tarver, he popped dirty. And that fight still happened that he had, one of his fights he had. I know specifically Eric Morales popped dirty.
Danny
when
Garcia.
Fought, Danny Garcia.
That was for Clenbuterol the weekend of the fight.
Yep.
Right. So
Damn
I mean,
tackles.
it's not unprecedented. You know, it could definitely happen. You know, it's not abnormal, and it's really kind of how this whole thing is being spun. Now, what I'll say, and I believe that, we don't want to skirt around the issue. Just it's perception is reality. So like anything else, because of Nettie, we already talked about Clenbuterol with Canelo, and now with this phentermine, now with Oscar Valdez. They all have a commonality. All the others are, illegal substances, but they're all underneath Eddie Reynoso. Now, Nettie was removed from the Eddie Reynoso camp, because of allegedly, I think because he popped dirty, and he's no longer a part of that camp. So what do you think is going to be the move is Eddie Reynoso? He was, being supportive in Twitter, but I mean, that's emotions. That's going back and forth with, people that are throwing mud. But at the end of the day, what is he going to do? Just go along with it? Do you think he knew and didn't say anything? I mean, he is a trainer. These are professional athletes. They know what's going in their body. And, is there some accountability on his part?
And that's the thing that I'm thinking on that is that I don't want to call it unknowingly, but, some of these guys, they trust the people around them. And do those people do their DDs to understand what kind of products are given to their pro athletes? And I believe that, if you're an athlete, I need to understand and know what am I taking. I need to learn about it. And you can easily go in and get some creatine or something that they can sell over the counter, and they have some
dirty,
and they have some substance inside of it.
Walmart,
exactly.
You buy something at Walmart, and you're a professional boxer, you're a professional athlete.
So those of you that are sending speculations right now or gossiping about this is an illegal drug, it's not. Like Hopper mentioned, it's not a steroid. It's just illegal in its kind when it comes to some of the things that
testing agency.
In one testing. So I didn't see it as that bad, but I think right now people are going way overboard now. Just thinking now,
I can tell you
Canelo
why.
camp, the Reynoso
because
camp,
he's connected to Canelo. That's exactly
connected to Canelo, and then it's connected to.
If only because if his one of his stablemates was some random boxer, it wouldn't be such a huge deal. But because of Canelo and his name, and he's attached to the same trainer, of course, it's a mega deal. But going back to what Gringo was touching on with Antonio Tarver and Mark Morales when they popped dirty, the weekend of the fight, I think what they do is I think that's going to happen in this case as well, is they're going to go to the opponent and they're going to leave it up to them. Hey, do you want to continue the fight or not? I think because a lot of the decision should be on the opponent. Like, hey, this guy popped dirty for this weight loss deal. Danny Garcia didn't give a shit. He's like, all right, let the fight continue, and he still whooped Eric Morales. Yeah. And then in the Antonio Tarver fight, what happened in the result on that one, Gringo? If I'm not mistaken.
I think he lost that fight. I gotta go back and look. That it escapes me, so I'm not gonna lie. I don't know off the top of my head, but
who did he fight? Who did Tarver fight?
Gotta go back.
That was Steve Cunningham. It was a draw. It was
the draw.
That's the last one. The last fight he had August 14, 2015.
The spike on PBC. That was 2015. It was against Steve Cunningham, and even with that, he drew. But Steve Cunningham is a beast, so Steve Cunningham.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shame in
he dropped Tyson Fury, almost had him out of there. So and he
took. But just this is again just my 2 cents.
Steve Cunningham didn't care.
It seems like, one, I'm Mr. Rulebook, right? So if either you're in or you're out, so he shouldn't be doing it. But my reaction honestly was, disappointment. Why did this happen? And then also confusion, because he did VADA testing. I know that it's random testing. That's the whole point of them doing it. They did VADA testing, and he tested clean when he fought Burchell.
Correct. No. I mean, I think it just had to happen recently, because I don't think they changed the way they test, do they?
No, not at all. So, he popped dirty. They did a random test. He wasn't expecting it. It came up, and these are the results of both of the samples that were provided. Also, too, a lot of people do bring up the Clenbuterol, and I'm butchering the name, but
Clenbuterol.
I definitely can't say that. But I won't even try. But a lot of people forget, if you're going to put the information out there, put it all out there, that they asked and followed up Vada. They wanted Canelo to provide hair follicles. Now, hair follicles, you can't, fake.
He did. He did. Canelo provided.
He did.
He did. And passed it. A week later, I think.
Yeah,
in
so
face,
he
Manny.
asked when they
in your
whatever.
face, slam dunked all on Manny, posterized him, Scottie Pippen style, nuts to your face with Patrick Ewing. Just
I get it. I've done it too.
Dr. J style.
You've done it too,
Dr. J.
I like to tell the jokes about the street tacos and this and that, but
we've been there. We've been there, Gringo.
Canelo was clear. Canelo was completely cleared on that. So, and that's one thing that I think that should happen consistently. I mean, if you're going to try to clean the sport, don't make it optional. I think if that's the most definitive way, I know there's a cost around it, but if hair follicle testing is what they need to do, then I think that's something that should be required and not, an exception. I think that should always be put out there because you have to strike the fear in these guys. And, again, people, they're going to always lean towards a narrative that supports what they want. If they dislike the fighter, if they dislike the camp he's in.
His teammate, exactly.
Yeah, his teammate. They're going to be like, birds of the feather, right? That's what it is.
Birds of a feather flock together.
It's not that situation before. And then, I'll say too, when I heard that, I was like, damn, he did look probably the best I'd ever seen him in one of the most difficult fights, on paper. Was there something else? You just kind of question everything, even though he was cleared. And that's the most damaging thing, that when these things happen, is that it puts doubt and work and hard, dedication that he put in to get to the point of where he's at. And, it's just disappointing for all of us because I really felt he was ascending.
Absolutely.
I really felt he was ascending.
No. Yeah, it was. And it's a low blow. I mean, from one of the guys that I do really admire and, and I take pride in when I go out to some of our fights and cover some of the big fights out there, and I can truly say, man, I was part of Oscar Valdez, and I'm still are. I'm not going to judge him for that, and sadly enough, this is what's going to bring is a negative ripple effect in where a lot of people, all they do is follow the social media crap, and we got someone that. We got other people that they love to hate, and they feed from people's collapsation is what I call it. And I just wanna it's funny because when I would start seeing it, and what I'm trying to go into this is Gervonta Davis, and here's a quick nice tweet from
Tank.
He said, "LOL, so we using stimulus to enhance our performance now?" Of course, Devin Haney came back and said, Eddie Reynoso, whole cam on that shit. And of course, Papa Reynoso, not going to stay quiet. He says, no haters, no life. Pinche culón.
Woo!
You know what I mean? And then Devin Haney comes back and, repertoire. And he said, no juice, no trainer of the year. No hater, no life. Pinche culón, cabrón. I mean, and it's sad, but I think that people, opponents and whatever it is, they try to feed from this stuff. And until proven guilty, I'm just going to give him the benefit okay, I don't think it was that bad in terms of when you talk about PEDs, but what I think is when you go somewhere and they laid out the rules and they say, you can't do this and you are solely responsible, all right, what you put in your body, and I hate the crap, and I hope I don't see anything when Valdez comes out and says unknowingly. I think he needs to own it, and he needs to just move on, and he'll be fine. He will be fine because it wasn't anything that he was knowingly wanted to take advantage, kind of like that Canseco area where I'm getting old and I want the slide edge, and people did that on purpose. That's where I have a problem.
And then,
so guys,
okay, I want to ask you guys this, and I want to ask you, real talk, Gringo, Manny, Spider. All right. Do y'all think the sport of boxing is clean?
100%.
I mean,
I think we got clean boxers, but I think there is. I mean, we see it. I think Gringo, maybe you can help me on this. Every year, someone gets caught on something on a PED.
We got multiple fighters.
Yeah.
Who was Anthony Joshua supposed to fight and got canceled for Ruiz?
Big Baby.
Big baby. Yeah, Jamal.
Right.
Big Baby got caught. That was PED.
That was a PED.
That was a PED. So if you're using that or injecting or something that is injected in your body,
that was his multiple.
I mean,
test, you know,
you can't come back and say, "Oh, I unknowingly."
And see, the thing about the sport of boxing. I mean, let's not be naive. We've all heard suspicions out there, and that's another thing. We have the proven tests. You know, I named a bunch of people earlier, from Tyson Fury, Billy Joe Saunders, to you name it, even Sugar Shane and James Toney, all these guys. Now, but we've also have like suspicions. You know, people always say, "Oh, maybe this guy's not," even if they haven't failed the test. If you guys remember, Thomas Hauser wrote a scathing article on Floyd Mayweather back in September of 2015, and it was released on SB Nation. You know, check that article out. It's scathing. It has some pretty bad information on Floyd Mayweather. You know, and that's just it just is what it is about the sport of boxing. Manny Pacquiao dodged steroid accusations.
Manny Pacquiao,
Juan Manuel Marquez dodged steroid accusations.
Those are the ones that I really truly like. I was like over the fence, like, should I believe it or not? I mean, but coming up from the weight class that Manny Pacquiao started to get like bulked when he was with Cotto. I mean, right now you can see him. He's not in that big fit shape, but it came to a point that Manny Pacquiao, I mean, he would like freaking like flex and like freaking veins wanted to freaking pop out. When that shit came out, I was like,
his fight against Marquez. That's when they both were.
I was like, wow.
That's what it looked like. Like they both were just see who.
Yeah. Their fourth fight. I was going to say it. I thought they were both juiced.
They were both juiced to the gills. They went to the gills.
Yeah. I mean,
their water bottles.
Well, even Shane Mosley was also involved.
Fernando Vargas.
Shane Mosley was involved in that fiasco with that LA lab.
Oh, with Victor Conte.
Victor Conte.
Balco.
Exactly. Yeah.
Balco, yeah.
Balco,
but I mean, not even just like actual suspicions. I mean, there's things that you do as a boxer that causes suspicions. Like, remember when the Charlo twins missed the VADA test, and arousing suspicion because they missed that, just missing the test. Nowadays, they'll give you the suspicion. And then on top of that, Julian J. Rock Williams, he sent out that tweet when he was a unified champion. And I'll quote part of it. He said, "I will be requesting at least 90 days random blood testing by VADA. Won't be cycling off on me." I mean, who was he referring to? He had just fought one of the Charlo twins. And this was after that. So, I mean...
Yeah,
even John Pascal too.
Yeah, but no, I mean, and then,
that's the thing.
Go ahead, Gringo.
To answer your question, to your point, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think that is rampant in the sport, man.
That's exactly what my answer was going to be, Gringo.
I think it's rampant in the sport, and I think that when people are responding and reacting to the fighter they like or dislike, they're either defending or they're, becoming outraged. You're going to be doing that all day, man. I think it's rampant in the sport, and it's sad, but it is what it is.
I agree because, I mean, all right, now this next one, you kind of have to look at it with the Hawkeye, all right? Because there's a lot of times that the testing doesn't start until the fight is officially announced, right? Like, say you sign up with VADA to do the testing, but it doesn't start until you're officially.
So how long
until the contract? But check this out. Look, I want to bring out this instance here. When Triple G, Gringo's boy, oh, he's gonna hate me, huh? When Triple G fought David Lemieux, it was officially announced on September 26th. Okay, the fight was scheduled for October 17th, less than 3 weeks away.
Right.
Now, I'm not accusing anyone of anything or why the delayed announcement.
Why they did
officially enroll in VADA with the fight being less than 3 weeks away. It's just stuff like that you kind of like raise your eyebrow and like, huh? Okay, this
is it. Do they call it injury?
Now, when this one, they knew they were fighting each other,
right?
But they didn't officially announce it until like 3 weeks to the fight. So it makes me think. That's all I'm saying. It just makes.
Well, I think it does.
I'll take it a step further, and I think that's a valid point, a great example. I know, one of my buddies that also likes boxing. That sounds random, but one of my friends that's also in the boxing, but he's also in the medical field. he feels because of the pressure that fighters put themselves under and the strain as far as cutting for weight. He thinks like, dietaries and the supplements they use, they shouldn't be banned. He thinks they should just be able to do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
let them all take it. They're all taking it anyways, I think. A lot of them
just put it out in the open,
now.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a better science lab, that's your part of your corner. That's part of your team.
Yeah, that's
how good
that's part of your meals.
Yeah. And now you think about it, and you said something about Mayweather. I remember back in the days. What was it? 2015. There was a writer. Forgot the name of the writer. I think it was December 12th, something like that. Information filtered through the drug testing community that on May 20th, I think it was 2012, to the effect that Mayweather had tested positive in 3 occasions for illegal, performance enhancing drugs. And so that speculation came in, throughout, and people were actually, concerned and thinking about, and back in the days, I mean, I don't know if that was.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I mean, if you read that article that Thomas Hauser wrote, Thomas Hauser, Hauser, on Floyd Mayweather, it's long, and it was released on SB Nation in 2015. It's incredible. It'll have your jaw. If you're a boxing fan and you haven't read this article, do yourself a favor, go out there and find it. It's incredible. It's long, but it's really good. So
the reason why I say this is because if you think about 2012, who did Mayweather fought?
I'm struggling with that one.
He just finished beating up Victor Ortiz, and he fought Miguel Cotto.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that I kind of remember, because of course I'm always paying attention to boxing. But
I was being sarcastic, by the way. I knew we were going. No, but and then let me give you.
I mean, to your point, Hopper. I don't think it's 100% clean.
No,
because you have that period of time where you leave. You don't get tested right after you finish. 3 days after you finish a fight or a week after, they don't call you to get tested.
Yeah.
Not that I know of. They get, like you said, you started to get tested, and one thing's getting down. So I don't think it's 100%.
Check it out. This next one, we might catch a lot of hate for this. Well, I might catch a lot of hate for this, but I got you guys to back me up.
Canelo?
This one, no. This one is on our boy Earl Spence. Now, look this up. Victor Conte, Mr. Balco himself, right? He went in super hard on Earl Spence one time, accusing him of something called gynecomastia because of his enlarged nipples that he was able to see through a white shirt at a boxing fan expo where he saw Spence. And this is Victor Conte. Google it. Look it up. This is what he said about Earl Spence. This is what he was thinking about Earl Spence. He accused him of gynecomastia. And it's there, what he said about him. Again, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. This is just the messenger reporting what Victor Conte said that I found interesting at the time. I said, what? And, these are all suspicions. And my point is, man, all these motherfuckers are probably on something, man. Some more egregious than others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you say that comment, it means that you know something, and there's a period of time where you can do it and don't get caught.
Well, I'll go ahead and say it, like Memo Hernandez.
Memo Heredia.
Memo
Heredia, sorry. Yeah. And then, the snack and all the
snacks. Kevin Haney.
Yeah.
He's over there talking and he's over there fucking
they want the
Memo Heredia.
Yeah, but the thing is, these guys still get work. So people are still working with them, people that we all respect.
They are
all
highly sought after. Victor Conte went through all that with Balco, and people are looking for him left. They want to.
They're like lined up to work with him. So my thing is like, you be a fanboy if you want. Believe your fighter is pure as gold.
Defend your fighter. Defend your fighter.
Right,
but not blinded.
Shit on other fighters.
Not blinded. Though.
I think these fighters under immense pressure to lose weight, to have an edge, And when you get to a certain level, you know, you're willing to take that risk, you know, whatever it's going to do. And if you get popped, you get popped. You're just hoping that you don't. And I think that all of them are on some sort of performance enhancing thing, because like we see today, we're joking about the herbal tea or whatever, but like Fettermine, there's always something that they're trying to do. Whether we feel like, oh, that's not as bad as a antibiotic steroid, it's still outlawed,
still illegal
for whatever reason, because it's seen as an advantage.
Yeah, it is.
So these guys are under immense pressure to get an advantage, and I think that they're all doing something. Is that messed up to say? Yeah, but it's my reality. So that's why I don't make a big deal about, oh, well, look at their camp. It's everybody, man. It's like
everybody.
And not to get started on that.
I think I would separate though the youth that are understanding about this, and there's people that I can actually blindfolded separate. To be honest, I could separate this on the side. Yes, I can separate even Chari Chevalier kind of thing. I can separate some of these guys that we know for a fact that, hey, listen, they know they can't fuck it up. You know, this is just basic, plain and simple. Are there any other ways to enhance the ability to perform at a different level?
Take Viagra. Adderall. What was the one that the NFL players? Adderall.
Adderall is just for mental focus, but it's fucking opium. So that you know, that's gonna get you, you know, real messed up. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that, you know, when you go out and understand what you're getting into, and if you ever get there and test it and try it, it's gonna give you the slight edge. And trust me, I'm not proud to say it, but I had to see it for myself.
Oh, and you took steroids?
I used to take
in your butt?
I took Wintrol and Deca. And boy, with that
same day.
Well, I would, yeah. I mean, every Tuesday you do a CC of Deca, the next week of Wintrol, and the Wintrol just dries you up and gets you those abs, and the Deca gives you the strength of like a freaking animal, and you feel completely freaking different. As a matter of fact, I used to play softball. Mike Lewis, the ball just freaking fly away. Random meal, dude. They didn't want me to play in that little small park because every ball was out there. You know what I mean? And it did give me a slight edge to the point like I felt every single symptom that I know about, you know, PEDs, the anger, the beast. Like I go to the gym and freaking lift 100-pound dumbbells with this wrist. I was freaking huge. It gave me a slight edge until I realized it was a stupid mistake because it hurts your body. And then when you're not on it, everything just really goes away and you want that power. And I think where you introduce into that and you feel the difference and you have a way, you find a loophole to not get caught, you're going to continue to use it. Look at Marion Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, she knew what was going on. Lance Armstrong. You know what the fuck was going on. Come on.
And then see, that's the thing too. In Lance Armstrong's sport, it was pretty much understood that everybody was taking it.
Everybody. I mean, they find needles back and forth in their cabanas when they have a sleepover.
Everybody was taking it. So everybody wants to shit on Lance Armstrong, but I mean, he was keeping up with the field.
And I'm sure he was actually tested negative until they actually enhanced the wave of the testing, and now they're catching some illegal laboratory made up crap that it was undetectable, and now it is. And so the bottom line is, I mean, we love the sport, we want it as clean as possible, and I think this is a topic that I think that even, you know, organizations, whoever needs to be involved. They need to really be a little bit more strict in testing your boxers, not only when they're in camp but outside camp. I mean, 2 years of Pacquiao not training. I mean, I can't say anything to use PED on this one because for sure it didn't work out if he did. But I mean, can you imagine, oh, I'm going to train for the next 5 months and I could be clean for 6 months, but you've been inactive for 2 years. You know, so 9 months out of those 2 years, you were on something. So I think it needs a more of a, change in terms of like how they do the testing, not only through camp, but outside camp. That's my.
No, good stuff. So I have a question for you, Hopper. We touched on as far as do we think it's rampant and what's the impact as far as in the sport. Now, for the here and now, Oscar Valdez, we talked about the fight, and, I believe I've been looking while we're talking, and it does look like it's still going to happen. But what do you think in regards of, you mentioned the other fighter, it's up to them. What do you think would be fair? What do you think should happen to send a message to Oscar Valdez? Not that you have an issue with him. Obviously, I'm a fan of him too, right? I'm not Mexican. I love him. I was happy when he won. I was thinking he was going to lose. I'm a Burchelt fan. So what do you think should happen? That should a message be sent? Do you think that Eddie Reynoso should drop him? What's your thoughts on Oscar Valdez?
Well, this one's probably going to hurt me more than it hurts Oscar Valdez to say it.
What?
No, I think Oscar should definitely be forced to withdraw from this fight. I don't think it should continue. I think you got popped dirty, man. Even if we think it's just a weight loss stimulant, I think you probably should just get out of sight,
so let me ask you
out of
something.
mind.
Are there consequences? I mean, not consequences, but should we put an asterisk at his performance against Burchelt? He got tested.
No, but they got tested. They got tested with VADA.
Okay.
I think this is
clean.
Yeah.
Right. So no way in hell he should be tested.
You can't crucify him.
Judged.
You can't crucify him for one fight and then not crucify him for the other. You know what I'm saying?
Because if I'm thinking right now and I don't know a lot about what happens or boxing whatever, and I'm reading, I'm like, damn, that's why he beat Burchelt. He should be stripped.
But and here's the thing though, we're gonna have that question answered for us, Gringo, because if the other team, if this fight continues, that means the other team doesn't really give a shit about fucking Fentermine.
They want the payday.
They want the
payday. You want payday.
Payday. You want payday. I know that.
Well, they all want the payday, and that's kind of my point. Like
if this fight continues
earlier, but I think that if it's put on the opponent, we know what's going to happen, and that also kind of is, I think, indignant of the culture of boxing. That basically they do want to get paid, but I think the other fighters and all fighters understand that everybody's doing something. Does that sound messed up? I'm not just half man, half disappointment, but I'm also truth. That other half is reality. The reality is, I think that's what's in the sport. Do I like it? No, but I think it's just the way things are.
Any sport.
Yeah, I think any sport, and I think that a lot of times people aren't getting caught because they're told in advance.
They know the rules.
Right? They're aware.
Like in the NFL. Like in the NFL, I remember when they used to test for weed, they would tell you, "Hey, just this is the day you're gonna get tested.
Right.
After this, you can smoke all you want." Legit.
They tell you that. Yeah.
They tell you that.
But even if they tell you you can't smoke weed in a job, and that is like a strict rule, and you sign off to be at that job, then hey, you can't smoke weed. Bottom line, if you like it,
now,
you can't smoke. You can drink alcohol. Same thing.
Now, real quick, before we close things out, and good stuff, guys, as always. But I got to get your opinion on this because we talk about disappointing things in boxing. But what do you guys think, if anything, about the purse bid that I was looking forward to? I literally quit my job so I could watch it. The WBO purse bid.
I thought it was Spence and Crawford. Spence and I thought it was Spence. Okay.
So it got pushed back to September 14th. And let me go ahead and give you a quote. The purse bid for the mandatory bout between WBO welterweight champion Terrence Crawford and challenger Sean Porter has been moved to September 14th, following a request from promoter of both fighters, top-ranked Crawford, and Tom Brown's TGB promotions Porter. And I quote, both parties requested additional time to continue ongoing negotiations. The purse bid was originally scheduled for Thursday, September 2nd at 9 a.m. EST at the WBO main office in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So they want more time. What the hell is going on, guys? I know we got like a minute, but are you surprised? Do you care?
Nah, I'm not surprised. To be honest with you, and I really don't care. And I don't. Anything that has to do with Terrence Crawford, I'm just going to wait until the fight is officially signed and they're walking out in the ring to actually get excited about it. No, I mean, I'm not surprised at all.
I'm not surprised either at all.
You got the PBC and Terrence Crawford involved? Nope.
I'm not surprised either, and I think that, definitely they're still in negotiations. I don't think it has to do with anything that we talked about previously, but I think it's more of, they need to clear out some shit. Porter definitely deserves to be in that spot. I think it's going to be a huge test for Crawford. Finally going to see Crawford on, but like my boy Hoppers here says, I mean, anything that has to do with Crawford, it's always going to be delayed. Is it on purpose? Is it a strategy? who knows? I'm not behind the scenes, and I'm not trying to judge anyone or how they do business, but that typically is a strategy to finalize things and then focus 100%. It's like an NFL contract, right? You don't talk about it. You don't do anything until the contract is signed. When you sign the contract, you go back to football and you go back to be 100%. And I think this is what both fighters want to do. Settle the contract, settle whatever disputes are still, didn't get negotiated in the table. So that way both fighters can concentrate on the camp. And I just didn't think that it's a huge distraction that it took days from their camp. That's my assumption of that. I could be right. I could be wrong.
No, but I think that it's indicative of where we are as far as Terrence Crawford. I know that people hold him in high regard and send your hate mail. I really don't care. But the whole narrative that he's the most avoided fighter, and that's BS, man. He's created his own narrative. He's soaking this up. This fight's not gonna happen. No fight worthwhile is gonna happen between him. To me, he might as well be a retired fighter. I mean, I look at him and Keith Thurman as the same person. They're just names that people mention from time to time. If you look at the resume of Terrence Crawford at 147, I don't get how he's still on people's pound for pound list. Is he extremely talented? Absolutely. He's phenomenal. But his best fight at 147 is the same as a 23-year-old guy in Grand Prairie, Texas. So don't tell me how great this guy is. This guy, he doesn't want the smoke. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. He doesn't want the fucking smoke. He never did. He never will.
Yeah.
He's playing you guys, and you guys keep lining up for it. But I digress. Because we're going to end on a happy note.
There's other divisions.
We missed you, Gringo.
There's other fights. We miss you here in the studio, and I want to leave you with this little quote, and it says, "Shut your mouth up." Accusing me of cheating. I get it, you can't even punch with 8 ounces of gloves, but accusing me of such a serious accusation. Baby Ryan Garcia's back in the spotlight. Hopefully see him fighting soon. Damas y caballeros, we are LongLiveBoxing en vivo. Podcast. Hasta luego. 96. Fuera. Adios.
All right. Great stuff, guys. So did it sound okay? Everything was sounding pretty good?
Oh, yeah. Great, bro.
Really good.
You sound pretty good, man.
All right, cool. So, hey, thanks so much for going. And Spider, thanks for all you do, man.
Yep.
This is the new normal for us. But I will say, and this is my commitment to you guys, for show 100, I don't know who the hell the guest is going to be, but I will be there. So
you better.
Already.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You should be here.
100. Yeah. I don't know who's going to be here, but we'll figure something out. But anyway, y'all have a great night, man. I know y'all got work.
Too, bro.
Dale, bro. Bye-bye.
Hasta luego.